Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So, this is another week of Crypto Talks. It's really amazing to be back. And I guess this week is also full of activities and full of market updates wherever we are. So, this is episode 231. A lot of news. Stay close to your YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, and retweet, or share with your colleagues and your friends. So this is super exciting. We're seeing back Bitcoin jumping to more than $70,000, and then we're gonna see why in few seconds. Why is this jump, and what's happening in the market? So with that, without further ado, let's share our screen and our events as we go. So, as usual, we'd like to start with our crypto alert. This is our bread and butter. So, and if you have any fraud or any fraud happen to you, please don't forget to report it to us, and then we'll try to help you as much as we can. Be careful that we're going to be speaking about one of those frauds today. Millions of dollars have disappeared. So it's really interesting to understand the world of crypto and then how fraud and fraudsters and phishing attacks is really happening. And this is one of the most major part of our daily hassle, but not that in terms only of phishing attacks or fraudster activities, but also impersonating, which is I'm really facing that problem myself. So be careful. I never ask for any financial, not advice, any financial trading or anything related to that. Please do verify with me. So this is super important. And most importantly, try not to fall any of those kind of victims. It's, today's money is super fast, so be careful of how you move. With that, as usual, we move to our events that's happening in June. So we are super happy to be sponsors. So in Paris, that's an event happening called Proof of Talk in Louvre Palace. So make sure to join on June 10 and 11. We have digital transformation in banking, which is happening on June 12. Speech Tech Summit. I was a speaker last year, keynote speaker. It's happening in Dubai on 12th and 13th. And London FinTech Week. If you are in London, join on 10 to 14. I think this is one of the highlight events of London in terms of fintech, and this is one of the good quality events for you to join. I know there's a lot of events, other events in June happening, which we will share them definitely next year. So just as a quick and call for you guys to support us, don't forget to share, like, and most importantly, share. And last but not least, before we jump into our news, is the top 25 women in fintech, blockchain, and AI. This year, we have added AI in our digital transformation platform. And so make sure that you are nominating those leading women in the Middle East who are in this space. We will put the description down below and in the YouTube video and on our social media. That said, let's move to our first news, which is kind of the highlight of today's news, which is Bitcoin crosses 71,000 again, as BTC ETFs crosses $880 million in inflow since March. So this is a major news, of course. There's a lot of things happening in that space, and we're gonna be seeing more inflows as we move, because one of the major parts is companies and traditional companies in specific are entering this market, so that ETF inflows that was started by BlackRock and then moved to Hong Kong and so many other places is really putting a lot of liquidity, I would say, one way or another, and more increased institutional interest is jumping on board. So this is super important for the future of crypto, and that's why we see that possible movement up. Are we going to hit an all-time high again? I'm not sure, but do bear with the market. The market is super volatile, and it's a super bull market, as we say. In our second news, which is tax preparation for cryptocurrencies, the rate has been determined. Finally, in Turkey, there was a lot of news, a lot of vague news, a lot of vague uh, policies, similarly to what's happening actually in the world, to what's happening with the SEC. There's no clear taxation in Turkey. So this was for the first time now we know what is being asked, what is the tax on crypto. With this new regulation, that the government planned to impose on transactions on crypto. So it's going to be around 4 per 1,000 tax rate on crypto transactions compared to the lower 2 to 1,000 rate in a normal stock market exchanges or investments. There will be no income tax yet, so we're waiting for more clarity as to what's going to happen. And of course, withholding tax will get you in trouble. So you really have to file your returns as soon as this regulation sees light. So before we continue, don't forget, we're taking your questions in the comment section on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. So if you are watching and you'd like to ask anything, please downstairs. Here we go. Yeah. And we will definitely get it back. So now we'll move to our third news, which is super interesting in terms of how the market is really moving, because we really need more and more changes in the market. And this is where Tether CEO warns of new waves of crypto airdrops, scams, email, and CoinGecko was the victim. So as we started in our crypto fraud news, be careful. It's a very volatile way of how you're going to manage your money. And this is where the possibility of we're seeing new ways of airdrop scams, email targeting users. So be careful. If you are not subscribed to any airdrop, even there was airdrop on Tether itself, as we mentioned, and I've seen it on my wallet where I've been dropped something, but actually I've never heard of this project. I never worked with that project, so it was after checking with Tether and after checking how and what is happening. If you think you're a millionaire, guess again, all of your money will be gone if you press some buttons. So do check again, even the emails that you received. Don't accept anything on your Tether, even if it is authenticated and secure, and make sure not to press anything also on emails. So cautious, have a cautious attitude always, because again, this is a super fast transfer of money, and it's one way. So once your money or the crypto has moved from your wallet, guess what? You're never getting it again with whatever you do. So I was a victim myself into something similar to that, but not on Tether, but on a different platform, on MetaMask, and it happened. I try to be as much cautious, but it really happens. So be careful as much as you can. DMM Bitcoin to raise $320 million to pay back victims for the recent hack. As we can see, more and more hacks are happening as we move forward. DMM is trying to get this $300 million worth of Bitcoin to try to refund or repayment to their victims or to the people that held with them in their exchange. They're going to be giving them loans, and they're going to be giving them capital increases based on their wallets. So it is a reassurance that the DMM is not going to go away. It's not going to file for bankruptcy, which is good for crypto. And the way the market is actually moving, because we don't need another SAM or SBF or, any of those falling now, or Gemini disappearing. Similarly, it's not time for this. We need more trust in the market. In different news related to crypto, and this is where we're seeing institutional support or institutions jumping, but not any institutions. It's institutions that are central banks, and this is where the upcoming news are about. Uh, CBDCs. I know you hate CBDCs. I personally hate CBDCs. And we're seeing Trump, one of his main campaigns is he's going to be stopping CBDCs. But in Qatar, they're moving, I think, against that way. They're moving in a different aspect where they will be studying and testing CBDCs. They released last week news and the memorandum that they have planned testing phase in October, focusing on large value transactions between banks. And that's a use case that is super valid. We've seen UAE and Saudi Arabia their own Aber CBDC for cross-border payments back in 2022 or back in 2021, December 2021 in specific. So this is kind of move towards how they're going to be using CBDCs. And now we're seeing for the first time from Qatar something related to digital coins or cryptocurrencies. And let's wait and see. They also released their own central bank sandbox. So I think towards the region, especially in the Gulf, they are a little bit late. Bahrain released their own sandbox in 2018. So they are 6 years ahead of anyone else, similarly in UAE. But that's a good move. At least now we can start testing with central banks and different fintech programs, and now in crypto. Last but not least is UAE and innovation. As always, they are also mentioning that Central Bank of UAE, and this is super fresh news today, that multi-CBDC platform for cross-border payments. And again, as you can see, it's about payments and it's about cross-border. So the mBridge platform is an initiative under CBE UAE Financial Infrastructure Transformation Program that seeks to really accelerate the digital transformation of UAE in the financial sector. And we're seeing a lot of innovation in this space. We understand how they operate. So there are going to be real-world examples where they mention pilot transactions using the mBridge as, this year, not next year. So already they've tested it 2 years ago, and now it's going to be a reality. And with that, today they released another article that they will be having their own UAE-backed crypto coin. So this is huge news because we understand that this is going to revolutionize how UAE will be working with money, or the future of money, and how they're going to be moving forward in the space of being a leader and trying to really bridge forward. So with that, we will summarize our news. I'll take questions within 30 seconds. And here we are back. So for your questions, I can see there's a lot of questions here. All right. Hi, Lama. Yes. Let me show her question. What makes UAE leader in the crypto space? Well, that's actually a very good question. What makes them a leader is simply that they are the first in the Middle East, the first in the Arab region, the first in the Arab area, the first in Middle East and North Africa, LATAM, even if you want. to really regulate everything related to cryptocurrencies to a certain point. And with that, they are early adopters of such technologies and early adopters of CBDCs in terms of testing. And they actually, when they released their own CBDC paper, it was one of the first really detailed use cases and details as much as you can, or as much as you want. So that's what makes UAE kind of seeing the future, trying to be in the future, trying to get talents, trying to position itself in the economy of the future. And UAE, just to remind everyone that UAE, you can transact directly from your bank account to crypto exchanges. So, no other country in the Middle East or Middle East and North Africa or Middle East and Africa as a whole is actually doing this. So this is super advanced, super good for the economy of UAE, and you can transact in Bitcoin. You can buy real estate in Bitcoin, something we've never seen before. There's a lot of sandboxes in terms of testing. There's VARA, which is the Virtual Assets Regulation Authority, headed by GIPA. They're doing amazing in terms of regulating the cryptocurrencies scene, wherever it is. And you can apply today for a license, whichever license you'd like. We're also seeing Ras Al Khaimah, we're seeing Abu Dhabi, ADGM, and so many other places. So that's why this is what makes actually UAE the leader in the space of cryptocurrencies and digital currencies as a whole. So that advanced scene, we don't see that much. If we go to the US today, there's a lot of just always remind you, I have the movie and the clip of Gary Gensler always here, that with Gary Gensler it's really amazing that he has lost so many opportunities, and yet we see him rolling ETFs, whereas he's finding left and right exchanges. We've seen him finding lately Binance, and in specific CZ, and then actually even sending him to jail for 3 months. But before that, there was technically no regulation. Even if you ask him, is it is it asset, is it a security, he would not answer, because technically he cannot define it. So without definitions, things tend to be in a gray. Without any regulations, things are in a gray, and all of a sudden he wakes up and he finds everyone. So I hope I was able to answer you. We have another question regarding, let me read that question if you don't mind. About CoinGecko. Indeed, the hack that happened with CoinGecko is an unfortunate hack. The way it is being done by sending phishing emails, you have to watch out from two similar email address. Is there a kind of a difference in the email address? What is the content? Always, if I'm trying to figure out, is this a legal or official email or not? Usually I don't receive emails from any exchange, never happened to me, where they are asking me to do anything other than a notification. So if for some reason there's an action in there, I take the email header and I take the email links using copy, and then taking it to VirusTotal and other platforms, and I validate that those links are super valid and they don't contain any previous known or even hack. So those websites actually analyze the traffic, analyze the links and so on, and gives me or flag me up or down based on more than 100 engine that is working altogether. So with that, regarding, indeed. Regarding the events, yes, you can check it on dxtalks.com/events, all of our events, and then the nomination, if you want to nominate, the links are there. Nominate as much as you can. The more you nominate, the more we are really pushing forward the agenda of inclusivity and women in power in terms of crypto and fintech and AI. So let's hope for better days for cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, and more market bull run, so that we don't have a lot of problems, a lot of investment issues. So it's been good for a while now. 2024 has been a good year in terms of cryptocurrencies and investments in that space. So hopefully we end up also first half of the year on a good note, and then we move to the other half of year for another all-time high, or even, as they say, to the moon. Let's be realistic in our investments and don't over be greedy. And with that, I'll wish you a great week, and then we'll see you next week. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to pop them. We're going to be taking them also offline. The team will be managing as usual. With that, we'll see you soon. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you again for being here, and see you soon.